Hey guys, welcome back. Today we are going to learn about the standard form of a linear equation. So in the past, we've learned about slope-intercept form. So if we write y equals mx plus b, we learned the m is our slope and the b is the y-intercept. And so we typically write lines in that form so it's easy to graph. We also went ahead and we learned about point-slope form. So when we were given a point and the slope, we could put it into point-slope form. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x of 1. And then we usually distribute and get it into slope-intercept form. Well, today we're going to learn a new form, and it's called standard form. It's actually the least used form, but we did want to actually expose it to you so then you could actually get it into this form. It's typically it's useful for finding x and y intercepts, and later when we learn systems of equations, it will be useful. But it's actually a way, too, that we can eliminate fractions from our equations. Okay, so the key to this form is we're actually going to get it in the form ax plus by equals c. Okay, where a, b, and c are all coefficients. C in this case is the constant, but they must be, they cannot be decimals or fractions. They have to be integers. Okay, and a, this is really important, cannot be negative. All right, it's got to be a positive integer. So I'm going to show you how to do that with a series of examples. Okay, so if we look at the example we have, 4x plus 7y equals 12, there is an example of standard form. Okay, so a lot of times we have slope-intercept form and we want to get it into a standard form. So for instance, number 1, y equals negative 3x plus 2. To get it into that standard form, I'm going to use the golden rule of algebra. Okay, I'm going to add 3x to both sides of my equation. And that essentially is going to move the negative 3x to the other side, and I end up with positive 3x plus y is equal to 2. Okay, so that's it. All right, we just put our our slope-intercept form into standard form. Okay, again, ax plus by is equal to c. So with number 2, I'm going to subtract my 4x from both sides to move it to the other side. I'm going to move the x over, I end up with negative 4x plus y is equal to 6. But remember I said your a cannot be negative. Here's an example where it is negative. So I'm going to multiply every term by negative 1 because whatever I do to one side of the equation, I have to do to the other. So if I multiply the left side of the equation by negative 1, I'm going to do the same thing to the right, and I end up with positive 4x minus y is equal to negative 6. So now we're in that standard form. So I just multiplied, in that case, both sides by negative 1. All right, so if I look at the next one, we've got a fraction here. So we've got y equals negative 1/2 x plus 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by eliminating that fraction. I want to show you how we're going to do it. Okay, so if you have a fraction, we want to multiply both sides by the lowest common denominator. Well, in this case, the only denominator we have is 2, so let's multiply both sides by 2. I'm going to show it like this. I'm just going to put some brackets and I'm going to put 2 on either side. So I multiply this, I get 2y is equal to 2 times negative 1/2. All right, remember, when we multiply our fractions, we go straight across. Okay, so that's actually going to be a negative 1, and we're going to just write it as a negative x, and then 2 times 3 is 6. Okay, now I'm going to move that to the other side because we're trying to get this in standard form, so I'm going to add x to both sides. And when I do that, I have x plus 2y is equal to 6. So there's my answer. All right, number 4, I've got y is equal to 3/4 x minus 1. So I want to get rid of that fraction, so I'm going to multiply both sides by 4. So I end up with 4y is going to be equal to 4 times 3/4 is 12/4 or 3, so 3x minus 4. I'm then going to subtract 3x from both sides, and I end up with negative 3x plus 4y equals negative 4. But remember what I said about the leading coefficient? That would be the a. It can't be negative, so we're going to multiply both sides by negative 1. So this becomes 3x minus 4y is equal to a positive 4. Okay, so looking at number 5, notice we've got two fractions. We've got 1/2 and 2/3. So we want to find the lowest common denominator. So look at 2 and 3. We multiply them together, we get 6. So 6 is a common denominator. So we're going to take one side and multiply by 6, and then the other side of the equation and multiply it by 6. So 6 times 1/2 y would be 3y, or 6/2, minus 6 times negative 2 would be negative 12/3. Negative 12/3 would be minus 4x. Okay, and 4 times 6 is 24. Okay, so we set it up like that, and then we can rearrange. Notice we're not quite in standard form, so I'm going to rearrange this to be negative 4x plus 3y equals 24. Get it into that form of ax plus by equals c. That's standard form. Okay, but now we need to multiply both sides by negative 1 to get rid of that leading coefficient that's negative. So our final answer would be positive 4x minus 3y equals a negative 24. All right, so if at any point you're starting to get this, I would suggest pausing the video and trying a few on your own. Okay, but I'm going to continue on. I'm going to multiply, in the case of number 6, both sides by 3. Okay, my pen got kind of funky there again. All right, so if I multiply both sides by 3, okay, we end up with 9y is equal to negative 2x, and negative 1 times 3 is minus 3. Now I'm going to add 2x to both sides to get it into that standard form. So 2x plus 9y is equal to negative 3 would be my final answer. All right, number 7, all I have to do for number 7 is multiply both sides by negative 1 to get rid of that leading coefficient of a negative. So we'll end up with 4x minus 3y is equal to positive 2. Number 8 is in-point slope form. So in this case, I'm just going to distribute, and then I'm going to add 3 to both sides. So I'm going to get it into slope-intercept form here first. Y is equal to 2x plus 7, and then I'm going to bring that 2x to the other side. So I end up with negative 2x plus y is equal to positive 7. I'm then going to multiply both sides by that negative 1, and I get 2x minus y is equal to a negative 7 for my final answer in standard form. Okay, looking at number 7, so let's just try to move this up a little bit, or down a little. Here we go. Okay, looking at number 9 rather. The denominator is 3, so I'm going to start by multiplying both sides by 3. 3 times y is 3y. And 3 times negative 1/3 is negative 1, so negative x. 3 times negative 2/3 is negative 6/3, so this is going to be minus 2. Okay, then I'm going to add my x to both sides to bring it to the other side. So we've got x plus 3y is equal to negative 2, and that would be it in standard form. All right, number 10, I'm going to start by no fractions here, so I'm just going to bring the 3x to the other side. Got negative 3x plus 5y is equal to negative 4. And notice my leading coefficient, the a, is negative, so I've got to multiply both sides by negative 1. So every term gets multiplied by negative 1, so this would be 3x minus 5y is equal to positive 4. All right. Number 11, again, is in point slope form, so I'm just going to start by distributing that negative. I've got negative x minus 2, and then I'm going to add 4 to both sides. So in slope-intercept form, we've got y is equal to negative x plus 2. But to get it now to standard form, all I have to do is bring the x to the other side. I'm going to do that by adding it. So I end up with x plus y is equal to positive 2. And now the final example, number 12, we have a fraction. Lowest common denominator is just 3, so we're going to multiply both sides by 3 to get rid of that fraction. So we end up with 3y equal to negative 2x minus 6. Okay, from here we're going to bring the 2x to the other side by adding 2x for a final answer of 2x plus 3y is equal to negative 6. There we go. All right, thanks everybody. Bye-bye.